Hello friends, welcome to my Cozy Haven. My name is Fiona. I'm really glad you clicked my video today. I'm just going to be chatting to you about my 2025 reading stats. Did I complete all my plans, my reading plans? And what were my top 12 books in 2025? I hope you're going to enjoy this. I'm sorry about the lighting. We have a very dreich day here in Scotland, so the light is on and it's just bouncing around, so I'm really sorry that the lighting is not that great, but hopefully you can still make me out and everything will be fine. So let's get on to the stats, shall we? Now I've got two lots of stats, one that I keep myself and one that I put on Goodreads, and they don't tally, but I think I know why, but I'll tell you that at the end. So shall we get into them? In total, these are my personal stats, okay? So these are the ones I've kept myself. I read 141 books, which I was like astounded at. I was like, whoa. That equated to 41,271 pages, which is like, whoa, that for me is just amazing. I read 97 physical books, 40 Kindle books, 3 audio books. So more physical than anything else, but that's okay, I'll cope with that. Now on to the ratings. I had 13 5 stars, 31 4.5, 59 4, 22 3.5, 12 3, 1 2.5, 1 2, no 1.5, no 1, 1/2, no zeros, and I had 7 not for me or DNF books. So that I think is really good. To have only 7 books out of what would have been 148, I think is brilliant. I am really, really pleased with that. It looks like my favourite rating is 4 stars, but that's fine. I'm quite happy with that. I think it's been a nice spread, if I have to say. It's a shame that I didn't read more audio. I would have liked to read more audio, but maybe this year will be the year that I can do that. So that was my own personal stats. Let's see what Goodreads said. Goodreads said I read 136 books, which equated to 40,559 pages. My shortest book was 36 pages. My longest was 720. My average book length was 298, and my average rating was 3.9. So I'm sort of 5 books out on between Goodreads and my own personal one, and I've gone back and I've checked, and I cannot see where I've made the mistake or not added a book in. I think what maybe it is that if there are 2 books in a book, like a bind up, I would just count them as separate books. Maybe Goodreads counted them as just one book. So that could be why that is all gone, differently. But no, I think it was a good reading month, a good reading year. And I was pleased with it. The fact that I set my Goodread goal at 1 was, I think, really helped. But no, I'm chuffed with that. I think it's probably one of the best reading years I've had for a while. So very, very happy with that. Okay, let's get into reviewing my 2025 reading plans. Let's see where it goes. Read more cozy mysteries. I think I did. But I'm not 100% sure. Excuse me. I know that I read quite a few, so I'm going to count that as I've done that. Read more category books. I'm not sure that I did. I think I fell flat on that one. Read more from my Kindle. Well, I did read 40 Kindle books. Whether they were ones that I had or some that were for reviews, probably a mixture of both. But I'll call 40 kind of, it was 40, wasn't it? Yeah, 40 Kindle books. I'll call that a win. Set my Goodreads goal at 1, did that and blew that apart, which is fine. Maybe try using TBRs for a few months, see if I like them. Tried it for 2 months, didn't. I'm really sorry about yawning, guys, but no, I didn't like TBRs. No, I'm very, very, very much a mood reader. Choose 5 series I want to read the next books in. I sort of did and sort of didn't. I did choose 5 series that I had going. Of those 5 series, I read 3 books, the next book in. But there are also another 2 series that I read the next book in. So I'm counting that as a yes, I did. So we'll give that a tick. Record more reading vlogs. I did do that. I've been doing more of that. Bring back a book and a bake. I didn't do that. I don't know whether I will bring it back. I don't think it was an enjoyed series, shall we say, that I tried to start. So I'm not too sure that I will bring that one back. Let me know in the comments if you would like to try seeing it coming back. I would love, I'm more than willing to try and do that, but I'm just not sure. Choose 5 series I want to start in 2025. I did do that, of which I read 2. This is ridiculous. I shouldn't be yawning at this time in the afternoon. But yeah, I read 2 and enjoyed. I've got another 3 that I can start, so that's okay. Try doing some lives. That didn't appear maybe this year. Try 5 new authors to meet. I think I did do that. Not 100% sure, but I think I did. Start the book for every year of my life so far challenge. Started to do work for that, as in research work, because I want to do it very specific, and I've given up. I just think the pressure was too much. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. Clear my physical TBR pile by the end of the year. Yes, succeeded in that. So I hit some of my plans, which I'm pleased about. Didn't hit all of them, but you know what? That's fine. It's not a competition. I read what I wanted to read. I'm happy with what I've read. And, we just take it from there and see what this year brings. And now let's get on to my my favourite books of the month and the year. So I started off January with The Agent's Secret Baby by Marie Ferrarella. Marie Ferrarella was the author that was picked for the category romance book group. This is the book that I started off reading, and I have to say I did enjoy it. It was a good read. I'm very happy that I read that one. Next up was that was January. February was One Charmed Christmas by Sheila Roberts. This is about a group of people who go on a river cruise at Christmas time or before Christmas, and they visit all the Christmas markets. This was a delightful read. It actually made me want to go on one of these cruises, because I just think, I love Christmas. Christmas markets, I think, are so fun, and I think the ones on the continent are really, really good, so I would love to go and experience that. And as a great characters, good plot line, I loved hearing about all the different markets and everything, so thoroughly enjoyed that one. And March was Madrigals and Mayhem by Elizabeth Penny. This was book number 4 in the Cambridge Bookshop series. This is a series I love. I like the characters, like the setting. It's just one of these books that you actually want to go to the place and see the city for yourself. I've been to Cambridge once. I would love to go back. But I'd love to go back and explore it using these as kind of my guide. Yeah, so this was my March read. And out of January, February, March, Madrigals and Mayhem was the favourite book. It's the one that won that 3-month. Then I read, sorry, I'm having to stretch over here. This was April's The Guide of the Shalley School by Jane Berry. This was the next one I needed to read for me rereading the series. This is all about, obviously, the Shalley School getting its own guide and brownie company, how that happens, how the girls take to guides and brownies, what it means for them, what it means for the school. You also get more on school life as well. It's a really good fill-in for the series, and I love it. I then read The Mysterious Bakery on Rue de Paris by Evie Woods. This was my May pick. This has got magical realism in it, it's got baking, it's got a delicious hot chocolate recipe, and you know how I love my hot chocolate. It just had all the feels that I was looking for in May, and I am really glad I read it. I read another one by Evie Woods. This is still my favourite of the two so far. I will read more by her, but yeah, thoroughly enjoyed this one. I then read, hold on, it's up there, excuse me a minute, I'll just put you on pause. My June pick was Finding Love at Hedgehog Hollow by Jessica Redland. This is book number 1 in the series. Definitely a series I'll be continuing with. Thoroughly enjoyed this one. This was about a girl who has had a rough time, and some horrible characters, but she finds where she's meant to be, what she's meant to be doing, and it involves hedgehogs and a hedgehog hospital. It was just a delightful read. And I am so glad that I was started on this series by a friend. So from the April, May and June, The Mysterious Bakery on Rue de Paris was the winner. It went through to the semi-finals. I then read in July, The Last Stop in the Winter Wonderland Express by Rebecca Raisin. Loved this one. Again, this one was to do with people going on a train journey through Europe to visit Christmas markets. A little bit of a theme somewhere, guys. I found this a delightful read, and yeah, I'll put it up there just to see get better. Absolutely delightful read, and thoroughly enjoyed it. I then read in August Simone at the Shalley School by Amy Fletcher. This is Amy rewriting the first term of the Shalley School from Simone's point of view. And it was brilliant. It was so good. To see the story from another character's perspective was excellent. And Simone is a very quiet girl, has never been away from home, and finds things very overpowering in many ways for being away for the first time, but delightful and a really good fill-in for this series. I then read with two friends The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst. Absolutely loved this. It's been tabbed to Bilio. But no, absolutely adored this book. Thought it was good. Well, more than good. It was just superb. And I will definitely be reading more by Sarah Beth Durst. I'm looking forward to the next book in this series and was just so happy to have read it. So from July, August and September, The Enchanted Greenhouse went into the semi-finals. I then read in October Wrapped Up in Christmas Faith by Janice Lynn. This is a lovely series. This is book 5 in the series. Lovely series. There's a romance, but it's also to do with like Quilts of Valor, army veterans, etc. Faith. It is a very good series. Love the series and was really happy to have read this one. I then read an old favourite, Winter Solstice by Rosamund Pilcher. I love being back with Elfrida, Oscar, Carrie, Lucy and everybody and hearing their stories It's just a beautiful read, beautiful descriptions in it as well. I just thoroughly enjoy this book, and I'm really glad I reread it in November. And then my final book, actually, which is the final book of the year for me, was Seniors of the Shalley School by Lisa Townsend. This book takes the very last term of the Shalley School and tells it from the perspective of 4 of the up-and-coming seniors. So between that and Simone, I had like the beginning and the end, but retold. Great retelling, really worked out well, loved seeing their perspectives, and was just so happy to have this in my collection. So those were the 12 books. So semi-finalists number 1 were, it was between Madrigals and Mayhem and The Mysterious Bakery in Rue de Paris and Madrigals and Mayhem 1. Second semi-final, The Enchanted Greenhouse and Winter Solstice. Winter Solstice was the winner. These were my 2 finalists. I had a very, very hard time picking, and it came down to half a point in my ratings. And Madrigals and Mayhem was my favourite book of the year. I'd say really, really hard to pin it down because I love both of the 2 finalists, and yeah, happy. I would have been happy with either of them, but this won it by half a point. So those were my 12 books, my top 12 books of the year. I would love to know in the comments, have you read any of them? Please let me know. Do any of them appeal to you just from the covers? I didn't want to say very much. If I'd said too much, this video would be like eons long. So let me know if any of them, just by looking at the cover, if it appeals to you. How was your reading in 2025? Did you have a good year? What was your favourite books, etc.? Please come chat with me down in the comments. I would love to know. On your way to the comments, if you haven't already, I would love for you to hit that thumbs up button if you've enjoyed this video. Also, hit that subscribe button and become a member of my Cozy Haven over here. It'd be lovely to have you join me. And hit the notification bell. It tells you when I'm bringing out new videos. But that's it for this video, friends. Until my next one, stay safe, happy reading. Bye!